This is for Whitney. Give this to Whitney. Whitney. Give this to Whitney. Give this to Whitney. Whitney. Give it to Whitney. Whitney? Whitney's not here. 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 Whitney! Hey craft buddies and happy holidays. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Whitney. This is Whiskey and Whit, and here we do all things home decor and budget DIY. So if that's up your alley and you're new here, be sure to hit subscribe before you leave so you don't miss any future content. So as you can see in front of me, I have got a mystery box. This came to me from Tracy over at Country Charm by Tracy. And if you are new to the mystery box, here's my quick little spiel. It's basically like a Secret Santa with DIY craft supplies. You get what you get, you don't throw a fit, and each round there are new rules that you have to follow when you pack up a box. So everybody on this list is who's participating this time. Everybody packed up a box, they got a name, they sent it to that person, and that person has to open it up and DIY with it. So this whole thing is hosted by Courtney over at Creative on the Cheap, and throughout the year we have had some guest hosts. Well, this time the host and the guest host is Courtney. She chose the theme Winter Wonderland, which this blue color makes me think of Winter Wonderland. Tracy definitely fixed this up for me, so we're going to open it up and see. A couple things of note before we crack this open. Every round there is a twist. So last time we had to use pipe cleaners or chenille stems, whatever you call them, in every DIY. Sometimes you have had to use the two challenge items together. Sometimes they had to be certain things. Well, this time around, one of the challenge items actually has a Christmas movie theme to it. So you're supposed to pick something from the list, here are all the movies, and send it off, and then the person has to take that item and make a DIY inspired by the movie. So I had a lot of fun with that. I sent my box over to Lisa at Dollar Mom, and you guys are going to be shocked, but I did not choose National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I was going to because, duh. But the item that I found for Lisa, it was for a different movie. You'll have to go see it. But I saw it in the store and I was like, I have to do this. I have to do this. It just came to me. Whitney, it's always a pleasure to participate in the Mystery Box Challenge with you. I know you will create something fabulous with these items. Challenge items are at the bottom, wrapped in festive tissue paper. P.S. Don't hold anything against me, Tracy. I've said it before, but usually you can tell when it's going to be really sketchy or really dicey with the challenge items when the person feels the need to call it out in the card. So we'll see. Tracy is like the sweetest, so we'll see what Tracy did. But also, if you have not checked out Tracy's channel, I love her stuff. She is one of the best painters I have ever seen. I will pull up Tracy's video and try to use that to recreate like looks of things. So like, good example, I love to look at how she draws gingerbread faces because she's so good at it. So good at it. It's like insane how good she is. So if you have not checked out her channel, you definitely need to check it out. So here we go into the box. Okay, she labeled it all for me. I love that. Okay, so item one, Sender's Choice. Oh, cute. Okay, we got some little trees. It looks like we've got a very snowy Winter Wonderland theme, so she really stuck with it. Here is some icicle garland. That's cute. It's like felt. Okay, item number three, Sender's Choice. Oh, this is pretty. It's like some tree cardstock. These are one of my favorites, so I'm going to be eating those. That's another thing when people send candy. It's usually hard challenge items. It's like the Jaws theme should be playing. Dun, dun. Anywho, we'll continue. You know, I'm not... Oh. Okay, so I've been dreading opening this one since I saw it because we had to send a sparkly item. These aren't terrible. These are actually very cute. Okay, so it's not glitter. It's like little... It sheds, but it's like a... I don't even know what you'd call that. It's almost like what comes in tinsel, but look how cute those are. Alright, I think we're going to be doing a Marshmallow World / Snowman DIYs, which is actually great because then you can use it much past Christmas time. Okay, maybe... Okay, this is Sender's Choice. Cute! Some little pom-poms. They look like snowballs, but those are cute. Okay, Sender's Choice. Some little tags. Okay. Cute. I love Tracy's taste. We usually align. Okay, this is the cookie cutter. Yep. So we had to send a cookie cutter. Oh, look at the mason jar. That's cute. That's very cute. Oh, a frame. Oh, that's cute. So this is the wood item she had to send. It's even got a little kickstand. That's cute. It's from the Hobby Lobby woodpile section. Okay, so number 9 is the challenge item, and then number 10 is the Christmas movie. She selected Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So let's leave that until last, and let's open this one up. Oh, I don't hate it, but I have like a question mark. Like, what in the world am I going to do with that? It's not scary, but... So it's like decorative crinkle. Put a little crinkle in your day, it says. That's funny. And number 10, this is... With the shape of this and how it feels, I have no clue what this is going to be. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I can kind of think... No, I have no idea. Oh. Okay, I think I have an idea. You probably see where I'm going with it, but we'll see. I'm going to try to not do what... I try so hard in these mystery box challenges to like make cute stuff, but also make things that you guys aren't going to be like, oh, well, that was obvious. You know, because like so many of you are lovely, but there's other people that like tend to give us a hard time on what we make in these, which is fine. It comes with the territory, but I always try to give you guys, you know, outside the box ideas, stuff that you don't see all the time. So I'm going to caffeinate and get crafting.
Up first, I'm grabbing that item number 4, Sender's Choice white ball garland. So these snowmen I actually made recently when my son Henry had to have surgery. I needed something to do with my hands to keep me occupied while he was back in the operating room. So I made these in the waiting room. And I was like, what am I going to do with these? It was mainly just to distract me. But then I was like, you know what? This would make such a cute garland. And after Christmas, when you want to put snowmen up anyway, you need the color because it just... At least at my house, there's not a lot of color. So I grabbed all of my snowmen, as well as some of these felt balls I have in my stash from Amazon. I grabbed colors that were about as close as I could get, and I cut apart the garland from Tracy. This was glued together. I thought it was strung up, so I had to just chop it up. But then I ended up doing a white pom-pom, then the color, then another white pom-pom, then my snowman. I just strung it up with some embroidery floss and my dowel needle like I always do, and this came together so great. I, again, had no plans for these snowmen. I didn't know if I was going to make ornaments or what. It was just something to keep me occupied. And thank you to everybody that reached out that saw my note in my newsletter. Henry's doing great. Everything went super well. And also the time that I spent waiting, you know, as a mom there, I got these really cute snowmen. I love this. I'm going to have this up all winter long. They're so cute. And it's just like the felt ornaments I shared in my fabric video. So if you would like to make these, the tutorial is from Etsy, but I also have a tutorial on the most common stitches that you use in my fabric video. So I will link that down below. Up next, we are grabbing a cloche from my decorating stash and those trees from Tracy. I actually had one of these scenes last year. It got spilt everywhere and I needed to redo it, so this is the perfect chance. I bought this really cute dog with Santa mailbox from Michael's. I added the trees, put granulated sugar on the bottom to look like snow, and a cute little snowman I already had. The top was super awkwardly open because my items weren't tall enough, so I grabbed that little snowflake from Tracy, popped it in there with the stick on, and this fit perfect. It looks like it's supposed to be there and it all came together. I added a teeny bit of baker's twine onto the dog, and this is so cute from all angles. I cannot wait to have this as a centerpiece on our dining room table this year.
Before we get too far into the crafts, I know I always get questions about my fun graphic sweatshirts. So this one came from Luxe Boutique in Ottawa, Illinois. I'm so excited because you guys always ask me questions. It is actually my aunt's boutique, owned and operated by her. And we love supporting women-owned businesses.
For this next one, we are grabbing this tin that I got from Michael's, but you could use any sort of cookie tin or anything you have on hand. I'm going to paint the top and bottom, just the outside, with white chalk paint, and I'm going to do 2 coats. Then I found this really fun pack of printables over on Etsy for Campfire Marshmallows, and I've been on the hunt for a vintage tin of Campfire Marshmallows, but I haven't been able to find them, so I decided to make my own. So I'm going to start by Mod Podging it to the front. Make sure you're aware of where that seam is, and I am going to stick it down and give it a quick coat on top, and then also do the same for the lid. Now we are going to make this look nice and vintage. In my last mystery box video, I shared with you guys a cinnamon and Mod Podge rusting technique, and we're going to do that again here. It's so simple. You're going to add a little bit of Mod Podge wherever you want it to be quote unquote rusty, add some cinnamon, tap it off, and then finish it off with some more Mod Podge on top. The Mod Podge is going to dry clear, but it is going to look rusted. You can do this as little or as much as you want. I worked my way around the label, both on the top and the bottom, and then in any open white paint area that looked a little too stark, I used a little bit more cinnamon to rough it up. You're going to put that to the side, let it dry, and then what goes good with marshmallows in the winter? S'mores and chocolate, duh. So we are going to use this silicone candy mold that I grabbed recently at Hobby Lobby. It was super inexpensive, and I'm going to fill it with cheap old hot glue. You are going to fill these up, tap it on your table, and just let it sit. Now this only works with silicone molds. You want to make sure that the hot glue is going to release. Once it is completely cooled, you can peel it off, and you've got these fun shapes. Then I went through with my hobby knife. I got rid of any of the extra wispies from the hot glue, and then I used this milk chocolate paint to paint it. I needed 2 coats. Make sure you do the top, bottom, and the sides, and put those to the side to dry. Then we also need some marshmallows for our marshmallow tin, so I am going to make some marshmallows out of Crayola Model Magic. I've done these for years. I have so many of these, but I love them in my decor. You just work it in your hands, roll it into a ball, and then kind of make like a strip and then push it down into a marshmallow shape. Now some of them, I wanted them to look like they had just come off of being roasted. So I took the same milk chocolate color that I used on my actual chocolate pieces. I rimmed around the top, that edge, and then I'm pulling it down and to the center. Then I'm going to go over the top with a little bit of that Mod Podge cinnamon mixture, and it's going to make them look so great. I let all that sit overnight to dry, and when I came back, everything was looking amazing. I was so excited about this. So now we are going to assemble our tin, and here's where our challenge item comes in. I am putting in just some scrap fabric here. I liked the little fringes on the end. And then I'm going to fill it. We're going to add a little crinkle to our day, and we're going to use some of the crinkles from Tracy. I liked it because the more I looked at it, it looked kind of like firewood, and I thought it would go really good with the s'mores. Then I'm taking these really thin coasters I got for a couple bucks at Hobby Lobby. I'm cutting off the curved ends and creating strips so that they look like little graham crackers. I also have some dowel rods. I'm going to add my candies in there, my little chocolates. And then I am checking my marshmallows because some of them look like this. If you have an area where it doesn't look like it's a cooked marshmallow, just go ahead and add a little bit more Mod Podge. That will seal it in and fix your issue. I'm taking these Dollar Tree dowel rods and twisting it into the bottom of some of the toasted marshmallows, and I'm adding some of my non-toasted, just the regular Model Magic, into my tin. Then I had a couple left over, so I decided to cut some cork and use a couple of those chocolate pieces I had left over, smush down one of those marshmallows, and make a couple s'mores to go on the lid as part of this display. You guys, I was having a blast with this. Then I took some Distress ink, cut off the little stick on this snowflake that Tracy sent, and I am adding it to the back. It was a little too stark white, but with the Distress ink over the top, perfect. And then I also distressed the fabric that was popping out. Now we're grabbing the mason jar cookie cutter from Tracy. I am tracing it on the actual box that she sent me, and I'm going to cut it out 3 times. Then I measured and printed out this vintage Hershey ad that I just found on Google Images. I just searched vintage chocolate ads and it popped up. I thought these kids were so cute. So I'm going to trim this down so that I can glue together all 3 cardboard pieces and then use a little bit more hot glue to glue my graphic on the top. Then we are going to just push it into the cookie cutter. It is tight enough that it's going to hold it, and I'm pushing it to the front. There is a gap in the back, but that's no problem. Once I get that where I want, I am adding some jute twine to finish off the top of it and to close that little opening. And then I gave this the Mod Podge and cinnamon treatment so everything matched. Obviously, I want to share things with you guys that I'm like, oh yeah, that looks good. But I'm so excited about this. I've wanted a set like this for so long. And this was really inexpensive to do. The Hershey sign is just so cute. The marshmallows turned out just like my vision. So I am so excited. Thank you, Tracy, for adding a little crinkle in my day because I was able to make this, and I'm going to use this year round. It's not just Christmas, not just winter. Depending on how you style it, you can use it all year round. Up next, we're going to grab that item 8 wood item from Tracy, and we're going to take some Waverly Antique Wax and faux stain it. Typically, I'd take it outside and stain it, but it is like 19 degrees here in Illinois, and we're not messing with that. and it also dries a lot faster. Then I'm going to take a chippy brush and dry brush some white chalk paint over the top. I did probably 3 light coats so that it kind of looks like snowy, wintry on the top. Then we're going to grab the cardstock from Tracy, and we are going to trim out these very pigmented green trees. I ended up doing 2 large trees and 4 small, 6 total. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm trying to get as close to the branches as I can so there's not a ton of white space because it's going to stick out when we add it to our frame. Then I'm going to add a thin coat of Mod Podge just to that bottom quadrant of the frame. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to put my trees on there one by one, cover it with a Teflon sheet, or you can also use parchment paper, and use a heat source to re-engage that Mod Podge. The reason I do this is because sometimes with cardstock I find it bubbles up, and I wanted to make sure this sat flat. Once that was all where I wanted it, I gave it a quick light coat of Mod Podge over the top just to seal it down. Then while some of that was drying, I took one of the tags from Tracy and I used my miter shears just to cut off the tag portion because I wanted it to be kind of like a little placard for my frame. I first went through with a white paint marker and I did not like my handwriting. Sometimes I'll look at stuff and be like, that's trash. Nope, trash. Get rid of it. So that's what I did with that. And I ended up going back through with just a black Sharpie, and I like how this turned out much better. I'm not one to teach you how to hand calligraphy, however you say that. But I just did Let It Snow with 2025, and I was able to glue it right onto the tops of the trees, and it looked so cute. Now here's where we're really going to make this project sing. We are going to take some baking soda and mix it with white paint and apply it to the eaves and the corners and all around this frame. It's going to make it look so wintry. It's going to look like snow just fell, and incorporate the trees, and it all kind of makes it look like it all was there to begin with. Then to finish it off, I added this adorable picture of the 4 of us in the snow recently. It was Henry's first time out playing in the snow, and I love this. It's 2025, it's dated. I can break this out every year, and I love that it just looks all snowy and 3D. I added some to the trees. Big fan of this. I also have it styled right now with my little thrifted sleigh with these fun little fabric DIYs I made in a previous video. If you want to make these, I have no-sew versions. You can check them out below. Now we're going to tackle this special December twist, which is the Random Act of Kindness Challenge. Courtney has been challenging us for years in this December mystery box to spread kindness in honor of her mom. What we're going to do this year is what we did last year because it made an impact here in my local community, and it's also something I enjoyed doing with my older son.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
We did birthday kits as well as holiday pancake kits to donate to the local food pantry. These birthday kits and these pancake kits will go to create special moments for kids in our community, which I think is huge. Now, typically, I'm not a big fan of sharing when we do these things. I like to fly under the radar, but because it is the twist, I wanted to share it because I wanted to challenge you guys. If you are in a position where you can help as well, these are a great way to help out your local community. And Courtney has also put together a huge collection of ideas for you. So if you would like to get involved, we challenge you guys to help spread some kindness. Please do. And also to thank all of my craft buddies for the support you give me all year. I wanted to do something kind for you guys. I'm going to do a giveaway. 3 craft buddies have the chance to win their own mystery craft box from me. So be sure to leave a comment and have the words "enter me" somewhere in your comment, and then also give this video a thumbs up, and also be sure you're subscribed. I will pick a winner 2 weeks from today when this video goes up, and then I will ship them out to you so you can start the new year with some fun new mystery craft supplies as well as some Whiskey and Whit swag. After I got done with that marshmallow campfire thing, I was definitely in the s'mores mood, and I needed something to make with the icicle stuff from Tracy. So I took a toilet paper roll, I cut it down the center, and then I cut it into a smaller piece. The goal here is to make something that's a little more marshmallow shaped. I'm going to glue it down, and then I'm going to trim off that top strip of the icicle piece, and then that way I can glue it and roll it and put it around the outside of my toilet paper roll. Now you want to make sure it's a little bit wider than your roll, because once you get it all wrapped around, we're going to do slits on either end and then add some glue to the inside, so then that way those edges are going to look finished. Do a little loop-de-loop of hot glue on either end, push it down on some more of that felt, and then when it's cool, trim it, and you've got a marshmallow shape. Now I wanted to add a little bit of extra oomph to it. I took some more of that cinnamon and Mod Podge and just kind of dusted it on the top, and it really made these look like toasted
marshmallows as well. Then my last few steps were so simple. I took some scrap orange felt. I trimmed noses for all 4 of them. I did 4 for the 4 members of our family. Then I added some extra chocolate to make the s'more. And before I assembled everything, I took a little crochet hook and I used that, dabbed it in some paint to create the dots for the eyes and the mouth. Then I took some jute twine, tied a knot, and just glued it to the top so that these can be hung from our little winter tree. This stays out all through the winter, so these ornaments will stay there too. I think these are so fun, and they would be a great project to do with kids. Some of the elements, like the hot glue and things, you would have to help them with, but they could decorate their own s'more, especially with it being felt. It's like not an issue, and these aren't heavy at all. So we might be making some of these at our house with Finn. All right, craft buddies, I know you are thinking to yourself, what is she going to do with that darn pot holder? Well, here we are without further ado. Now, remember when I did my Norman Rockwell Pottery Barn dupe and I had that frame? Well, I actually bought 4 of them that day at the thrift store, and I've just been waiting for the right projects. I think this is the perfect project. You've got to see how this turns out. I love it. So I am taking it apart, taking the mat out of there, and then I'm using some of this fabric I got from Hobby Lobby. It kind of looks like candy cane, but I also like that it has like a little bit of a vintage vibe. And I am going to wrap the entire thing. So I'm going to wrap the tops and the sides, and then I am going to cut a X in the middle and then pull those so it's essentially wrapped around the entire mat. Once that's done, I printed an 8x10 of this Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer sheet music. I just Google image searched it, and I really liked that it was on kind of the taupey color background. I used a couple dots of hot glue just to make sure that everything would stay in the right spot, and then I put it back in the frame minus the glass. I pulled the glass out. Then I spent an ungodly amount of time in Adobe Illustrator to create an SVG that I wanted of Rudolph that would work with my vision. So I spent a few nights, but it was totally worth it in the end. Then I cut everything out, and I am putting it together with some Barely Precision art glue and some of this pop dot tape that I get at Dollar Tree. What the pop dots are doing is raising up some of the pieces of cardstock, so then that way it's kind of 3D. And then it was time for the challenge item. So originally I was like, okay, I'm going to use this for the nose. And then I thought, nope, we're not going to use it for the nose because that is just way too on the nose, pun intended, for a red circle for Rudolph. So instead, we are going to use this pattern to create his scarf and to give it kind of a multimedia effect. Once I got my pieces cut, I just used some of that glue, kind of worked it in, filled in any open areas, and it was a pretty easy process to get everything where I wanted. Then my final step was to take some more of the pop dot tape and attach Rudolph to the center of the sheet music. And now I have a really fun, beautiful little Rudolph 3D art piece that looks super vintage, and it could easily go for kids or it could easily go like Pottery Barn vibes, high-end decor. I love how this turned out.
I hope you loved this video and all the DIYs. Let me know down below, how do you think I did with those challenges? And also let me know, what would you have done with any of the items? If you got ideas, I love to see that down in the comments. Also, while you're down there, be sure to check out more information on the playlist. We've got a full list. Here's everybody participating in this mystery box challenge. You've got to go see what I sent Lisa. You got to let me know if you think that I did a good job with my challenge item to Lisa. And then you can watch the playlist in a loop, come all the way back around to Tracy's video, and then back to me. Also, do not forget about the random act of kindness. There is a full printable down in the description from Courtney to give you ideas. If you got your own ideas, be sure to comment them if you want to enter my random acts of kindness giveaway of some fun craft supplies and sending you your own mystery box for the end of the year. Thanks so much for watching. Up next for you is Lisa's video over at Dollar Mom. A huge thank you to Tracy for an awesome box. A huge thank you to Courtney for always doing all the legwork for these fun collaborations. And thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Happy holidays. Bye.